Monday morning, June 9th, 2025, 6:40 a.m. Currently, we have more or less, well, clear but dirty skies. Yeah, I've been up for a little bit already this morning and watching a little bit of the Idiot Box with mainstream media's headline news, and something that caught my attention was the factor of Donald Trump uh, re-implementing the allowance for sonic jets to once again fly over this country. There used to be a thing that was called noise pollution. We have things that are known as noise ordinance laws. We also have issues over decibel readings and how decibel readings can really mess with not only people but humans, wildlife in general. And speaking of wildlife, and this is the real reason and purpose for this early morning video, is the factor that when I come across a tarot reading, or more or less, we'll just say a reading, okay? Because typically when you speak of tarot readings, it is the factor of um, using tarot cards, okay? And not that of handwritten cards or other decks of message cards. Come on. Yeah, we want to get this one here. This is a great way to start the day, right? So anyways, regardless, if a message is to come through, there will be specific indicators right off the bat that will or will not resonate with the one that is listening to the reading, okay? So when I have a video to where I begin with the sighting of a hawk, and then I end that video, which is actually a compilation of recorded clips from different time periods of the day, and it ends with the sighting of a vulture, or as some would say, and I don't use this term, a raptor, okay, because as far as I'm concerned, raptors is a term typically used for Jurassic Park narratives, okay? But when it comes down to where a reading begins the same way that one of my videos begins and ends, then I really have to pay attention. And then when there is that much more that resonates with me pertaining to the information coming through the reading, then, well, good morning to you too. um, I think that might have been Jayhawk that just flew over my head and off into the trees here, which of course distracted my focus of attention on my own thoughts. But when these messages really start to connect with your life of things seen and unseen, but yet these things are still known to you, or just sounds very fitting to where it sounds right, then you pay attention that much more. Especially when it seems as though there's a lot of character descriptions and personality descriptions pertaining to the listener of a reading. I'm going to include a link to a channel that, well, I know I'm not even going to state my opinions over this channel. I'm not even going to ask you to watch the whole video because it is very lengthy, and I myself still have not viewed the entirety of this video, but I am going to as soon as I finish recording this and begin the uploading process, with the link included down in the description box below. Furthermore, here we go. So with what little bit of a meteorological report that I've seen on the weather this morning for our local area, basically we are to be under these same conditions, partly cloudy, partly sunny, with increasing cloudiness once again. Okay, we've already been having these flyovers kick in. Well, of course, they're just non-stop, as you see at the beginning of this recording. We're supposed to have precipitation moving in later, late afternoon, early evening. And of course, we will be seeing the creation for that precipitation, which I have been showing in my recent content. And there is no refuting the evidences that I put forth. And it destroys all other narratives. Okay, so going back to the supersonic jets. If this is implemented into law to where no one can stop these supersonic jet fighters from screaming overhead and creating these sonic booms and everything else, well, I guess there's no stopping these other aircrafts that basically don't show up on flight apps and whatnot that we see carousing back and forth, almost on an hourly basis here within my content and my videos, right? There's no stopping it. So basically, I guess that will do away with these chemtrail bans in these states, right? Because this is basically going to go ahead and can give legal leeways to this overhead activity. Now, speaking about Donald Trump, and of course Elon Musk, well, has any of you ever been privy to, or even maybe have owned a nameplate, an office nameplate that sits on your desk that has, your name and position on it? Those little nameplates that's kind of like, if you turn it sideways, it's kind of like triangular. And it might say, Chairman John Doe. Okay? Well, imagine in the heat of the moment, through anger, one of those gets picked up and cracks somebody else across the side of the head. Possibly even given a black eye. But it would definitely give a nice straight marking on the side of the head. Yep. Now, initially, when it comes down to black eyes, I don't know if you people remember a few years back, quite a few years back, to where this was back when, John McCain was still alive and huffing and puffing there in Congress and whatnot. And he was one of those that got a black eye. Many others got black eyes. Remember, there was also the boot. Remember the boot issue, where a lot of celebrities and politicians just all of a sudden was wearing, the boots that if you have an injury to the ankle or foot, and they put you in the boot, in which it was said that, oh, well, these boots are covering up tethers because they were basically under house arrest and had to wear these tether anklets. Okay. Um, no, I'm just putting some information out there for you people to connect the dots because, well, maybe you can do a little bit of dot connecting for me, right? Because I'm just putting the puzzle pieces out there. I think it's time that you guys should start putting the pieces together as well, right along with me. So, on that note, I think that is going to be it for the content so far for today. I was kind of halfway waiting for yet another aircraft to come cruising on by. But, of course, that will come more than likely in a ramped up version as we continue on with this day. So, that is the case. I will be putting out and providing and sharing more content. So, won't you please stay tuned? Otherwise, have yourselves a great one. And we'll meet up again together back here on this flip side.